we discussed about rank of a matrix. And also echelon form. Echelon form of a matrix. Isn't it? What is meant by echelon form? So the first element must be non-zero, preferably 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. So it may be zeros or non-zeros. I don't bother. But there must be at least 1 0 here. Because there is non-zero here, number of leading zeros in a row must be less than number of such zeros in the next row. So there must be at least 1. So it is 4, 5, 6. And whenever there is 1 0 here, there must be at least 2 zeros. Of course, there may be 3 zeros, but at least 2 zeros. 7, 8. If at all, fourth row is there, there must be at least 3 zeros. Or there may be 4 zeros also. So this is called echelon form. See, the first element must be non-zero. There is only 1 0. The number of zeros here is less than number of zeros here. But you cannot say, sir, there are 3 zeros here, sir. There is only 1 0. So we don't count these zeros. So we are discussing only about leading zeros. There are no leading zeros here. There is 1 leading zero here. There are 2 leading zeros here. Suppose if there are 2 zeros here, you cannot say there are 3 zeros, there are 2 zeros. There is only 1 0 here. There are 2 zeros and there are 4 zeros. So this is called echelon form. What is the advantage of echelon form? So you can find the rank easily. So how to find the rank easily? Number of non-zero rows. What is meant by non-zero row? 0 row means if a row contains all zeros, it is called 0 row. But non-zero row means if a row contains at least 1 non-zero number, it is called non-zero row. So if a matrix is an echelon form, rank of the matrix is nothing but number of non-zero rows. That is 3. So here, for this matrix, rank of the matrix is 3. Okay. So then, what is the use of finding the rank? That is the first point. And now we are going to that only. But before that, once again we write elementary transformations. So what is meant by elementary operations or elementary transformations? So what are elementary operations? First one, interchanging 2 rows. So this symbol stands for interchanging ith row and jth row. Okay. So no need to write the full sentence. So this symbol is enough to denote that interchanging ith row and jth row. Similarly, ith column and jth column. So interchanging 2 rows, interchanging 2 columns. And second one, Ri implies k into Ri. That is k not equal to 0. So multiplying elements of any row with a non-zero number. So we should not multiply with 0. If you multiply with 0, every element becomes 0 only. Okay. So you have to multiply a row with a non-zero number. That is another second elementary operation. Similarly, Ci implies k into Ci. That is k not equal to 0. And see third operation. Ri implies Ri plus k or j. What is meant by that? Multiplying jth row, elements of jth row with k and adding them to the corresponding elements of ith row. Similarly, Ci implies Ci plus kCj. So these are called elementary transformations or elementary operations. Right? That's Akash.
So in the second point, sir, do the value of the determinant will change?
Definitely determinant will change. You know, if a row is multiplied with k, what is the ultimate determinant? K times the original determinant, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But here determinant changes its sign. Here also determinant changes, minus will get. But in this operation, determinant does not change. But in all these operations, important point is, even though determinant changes, if previously determinant is 0, now also determinant will be 0. If previously determinant is non-zero, and after applying the operations, again the determinant is non-zero. That is the key point here. That's why the very important sentence, elementary operations on a matrix do not change the rank of the matrix. That is important. So
okay, sir.
Sentence.
Thank you, sir.
Note. Next line. Note. Elementary operations. Elementary operations applied on a matrix. Applied on a matrix do not change the rank of the matrix. Okay, see, suppose a matrix is given 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 15, 17, 19, 21, 50. Now he is asking rank of the matrix. You know actually how to find the rank of the matrix. This is a matrix of order 3 by 4. Therefore, first you have to search for non-zero determinants of order 3 by 3. Actually, there will be 4 3 by 3 submatrices. You have to find those determinants. If at least one of them is non-zero, then we stop the program. The rank of the matrix is 3. But unfortunately, if every of those 4 determinants is 0, we have to go to 2 by 2 determinants. If at least one 2 by 2 determinant is non-zero, then the rank is 2. But it is a tedious process every time to find determinants of third order, second order, like that. So what we will do is, we apply elementary transformations on this matrix, and after applying some elementary operations, we make that matrix into echelon form. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 6, 7, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I apply operations, interchanging two rows, multiplying a row with a non-zero number, and multiplying a row with a number and adding them to the corresponding elements of other row. So by applying those operations, I will get this. And in the middle, you will get so many matrices. Definitely, this matrix is not equal to this. This is not equal to this. And finally, this is not equal to this. But they are equivalent. So you put a symbol like this, equivalent. What is meant by equivalent matrices? If both have same rank, they are called equivalent matrices. So by applying elementary operations, rank do not change. And therefore, rank of this matrix is nothing but rank of this matrix. And what is the rank of this matrix? It is in echelon form. Number of non-zero rows will give you rank of the matrix. And see how many non-zero rows are there? Only 2 non-zero rows are there. And therefore, rank of this matrix is 2, and hence rank of this matrix is 2. Okay, now, so that is the procedure we adopt. Right? Okay. And the next question obviously will be, before starting, I'll ask Madan Bharat. Bharat.
Hello, sir. Sir, once again you explain that elementary operations.
Just already we did that in determinants also. Interchanging two rows, we will get that. So in problems, you will get that. Don't worry. I see.
Sir, now what you have told that?
Just only interchanging two rows, multiplying a row with a number and multiplying a row with a number and adding them to the another row. So those are the only three operations we explained. Okay, right. And see students, and now what is the advantage of rank? That is the important one. Suppose I can apply elementary operations and I can change the matrix to echelon form, no problem. But what is the use of echelon form? What is the use of rank means? While solving the equations, you can use that echelon form to get the number of solutions easily. We know if any system of equations, linear equations are given, you may get infinitely many solutions, you may get no solution, you may get unique solution. And to get them, we have to adopt this procedure. See, consider the system of equations. Consider the system of equations. A1x plus B1y plus C1z is equal to D1. And A2x plus B2y plus C2z is equal to D2. And A3x plus B3y plus C3z is equal to D3. And now you may ask, sir, why all these methods, sir? Only matrix inversion method is enough. Only Cramer's rule method is enough to find the solutions. No, those are useful only if determinant of the quotient matrix is non-zero. Okay, if it is non-singular, then only they are useful. If it is singular, it is not, they are not useful. Okay, and if the system contains and more number of equations, so 10 equations and 10 variables like that, of course you don't have that. So because you are kids, you only have 3 equations and 3 variables. So in the higher studies, you will get equations in of so many variables, 4 variables, 5 variables like that. Then using matrix inversion method is difficult. So finding inverse is difficult. Finding the determinants are also difficult. Delta x by delta, delta y by delta, delta z by delta, and delta p by delta like that. You get 4 values. Finding all those determinants is difficult. But using this method, you can find whether they exist infinitely many solutions or unique solution or infinitely many solutions easily. So how to get that? See, first I will write the quotient matrix A. That is x coefficients A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. This is A. And what is variable matrix? X, Y, Z or X1, X2, X3, whatever the variables they exist. So here X, Y, Z. And constant matrix B, that is B1, B2, B3. And now we combine quotient matrix and constant matrix and prepare another matrix C. So first column is quotients of X, second column is quotients of Y, and third column is quotients of Z, and fourth column is constants D1, D2, D3. Okay, and we are combining A and B to get a new matrix. It is denoted by like this, AB. It is not A into B, it is AB, which is called augmented matrix. Augmentation means combine. So this is called, you can see, augmented matrix. AB. Okay, so write these steps. So solving the non-homogeneous linear equations by using echelon form. Of course, there is another method, Gauss-Jordan method, which is somewhat difficult. This is half of that model, but you need not do that. But for IP examination, you should do that. So we'll see later. But first we practice this. So whenever 3 equations, 3 variables are given, immediately we prepare this. We prepare this augmented matrix AB. Okay. From this augmented matrix, we can conclude something. So write this. Akash.
Say every time it is the mixture, augmented matrix is the mixture of coefficient matrix and constant matrix.
So we have to combine them to get the augmented matrix.
Say every time, sir.
No, every time.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Right. So once again, I am writing that augmented matrix. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, D1, D2, D3. So, using this, we'll find the rank of the augmented matrix. So, by reducing this to echelon form, I will find the rank of the augmented matrix. So, find rank of augmented matrix, comma, find rank of A. I will find rank of A also. This is nothing but A. So if you close this column, you will get capital A, and this is entire one is augmented matrix. And also find number of variables. Number of variables. In general, it is denoted by m. How many variables we have to find in the equations x, y, z? So, in general, in our entire portion of advanced mains, IP, MSET like that, you will have only 3 variables only. So, okay, so I can write 3. But in the higher studies, we will have more number of variables. But here, the number of variables is always 3. And see then the above system of equations has first point unique solution, only one solution. Only one solution means one value of x, one value of y, one value of z. Put together will give you unique solution. If this rank of AB is equal to rank of A, rank of AB is equal to rank of A is equal to number of variables. Of course, n is equal to 3. So rank of AB is equal to 3, rank of A is equal to 3, and number of variables is equal to 3. Then we say that the system has unique solution. And next one, infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. If rank of AB is equal to rank of A, no doubt, but less than number of variables. Here number of variables is 3. So rank of AB is equal to rank of A, but less than 3. That means both ranks may be equal to 2 or both ranks may be equal to 1, but should be less than number of variables. And third point, no solution. No solution if rank of AB not equal to rank of A. If these two are not equal, then we can say that the system of equations has no solution at all. Write down. So write down that. Madan.
Sir, that second one not understood.
What second one?
That infinitely many solutions.
So you are lucky, at least you didn't understand this. So many students don't understand all these 3. While doing problems only we can understand them. So if we have infinitely many solutions, if rank of AB is equal to rank of A less than n, that means the system will have so many solutions. So you can take any number of any value of x, any value of y, any value of z, depending upon the equations. So there will be so many solutions. We will see them. We will see them.
Sir, means that rank is less than the number of variables.
Rank of A less than number of variables.
Okay, sir.
Okay, students. Can I erase this? And we'll take one problem. Solve the system of equations. That problem, which we already did using matrix inversion method and Cramer's rule. Solve the system of equations. X plus y plus z is equal to 6. That is first equation I remember. And I remember the third equation also. 2x plus 3y minus z is equal to 5, isn't it? 2 plus 6h minus 3, 5. And this equation, I think x plus 2y plus z, and this 6 plus 2h. No, that is not the equation. Now you give me that equation, second equation. Puneet?
Sir, you wrote the correct equation only, sir. X plus 2y plus z equals to 8.
Oh, this is this only. Right. So x plus 2y, that is 4 plus 1, 5 plus 3, 8. Okay. So these are the equations we have taken previously. We got the values of x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, z is equal to 3. Okay. That means unique solution. See how we are going to get those solutions, or how we can find that the solution is unique using this process. So first of all, write AB, augmented matrix AB. So before writing that, make sure that all these constants are on the right hand side only. Suppose the equation is like this. So first you write all the constants on the right hand side is equal to 6. Then only write the augmented matrix. First column 1, 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 1, minus 1. This is 6, 8, 5. And right? And now I am going to convert this into echelon form. What is the first step? It must be 1. Excellent. The first step is over. And second step. Now, using this, I am going to make these two numbers 0 at a time. What are the operations I am going to use? R2 implies R2 minus R1. And R3 implies R3 minus 2R1. See, by this operation 1 minus 1 becomes 0. By this operation 2 minus 2 becomes 0. And therefore, I can write like this. Don't put equality sign because the matrix is changing. But they are equal matrices. Both have same rank. So first row is not changing. 1, 1, 1, 6. This R2 minus R1. 0, 1, 0, 2. R3 minus 2 R1. So like in these operations you have to be careful. You will do mistakes. So what you will do? Minus 2. So multiply with minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2. 0. Multiply with minus 2. Minus 2 plus 3. 1. Minus 2. Minus 1. Minus 3. Minus 2 into 6, minus 12 plus 5, minus 7. So at every calculation, so in the mind, you think like that and only simplify. And the second step is over. What is the first step? This is non-zero and these two are zeros. Okay. Then you say something, sir, I don't do this operation, sir. Simply I will do this R3 minus R2, sir. Okay, or R3 minus after completion of this. After completion of this, I will use this operation, sir. R3 minus 2R2. Okay, okay, no problem. The next step we can see that 2R1. And now after this, make sure that this diagonal element, next diagonal element is non-zero. That is second row, second column element. So this is non-zero, no problem. And after this, convert this element to zero using this element, using second row only, not first row. See, suppose a student says like this, sir, it is easy, sir. R3 minus R2 will give you 0. 1 minus 1, 0, sir, it's over. Okay, but so previously we made it 0, but see what happens? 0 minus 1, that will be non-zero. Therefore, always use the second row to make this element 0. So R3 implies R3 minus R2. So what is the matrix here? So you can see this. So 1, 1, 1, 6. So 0, 1, 0, 2. And subtract 0, 0, minus 3, minus 9. See, the problem is over. It is in echelon form. If there is one non-zero element here, the first non-zero element, there is 1 0 here, there is 2 zeros here. Therefore, the matrix is in echelon form. We will write that in the next step. Write down the steps first. Equal to rank of A is equal to number of variables. So in the previous steps we have written. Therefore, the system will have unique solution. It's over. So in so many problems, the options will be like this only. The system will have unique solution. System will have 2 solutions. System will have infinitely many solutions. System has no solution. The answer is system has unique solution. Okay. So write that. And suppose you are interested in solution. And now you just expand once again using x, y, z. So this is x, this is y, this is z. 0 into x plus 0 into y. What is this matrix actually? So right here. So this is actually 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, minus 3 into x, y, z. And that matrix is 6, 2, minus 9. And now if you expand, what happens? See this last row. 0 plus 0 minus 3z is equal to minus 9. Minus will be cancelled and z is equal to 3. You got z? And after that, you will expand second row. 0 into x plus 1 into y plus 0 into z is equal to what is the second element? 2. It's over. You got y value. And expand first row. X plus y plus z is equal to 6. Already you know z and y. So x is equal to 6 minus 5, 1. So those are the values you got. X, y, z. So this is a very, very important and useful method to solve these problems. Harshit.
Sir, how did you get the rank of matrix A?
So rank of matrix for matrix A, you just close that and see how many non-zero rows are there.
3.
3. That is rank of the matrix. Rank of the matrix A, which is in echelon form, is number of non-zero rows. That is 3.
Okay, sir.
See, suppose for some problems what happens is, if the system of equations are converted into augmented matrix and we convert that into the echelon form. Finally, the echelon form is like this: 1, 0, 5, 6, 0, 7, 8, 9, 0, 0, 0, 6. Yes, definitely it is in echelon form because there is non-zero element, 1, 0, 3 zeros. It is an echelon form. And what is rank of AB? Number of non-zero rows. This is also a non-zero row. Okay. So 3. And what is rank of A? So to find rank of A, close this. That is A. And that is also in echelon form. But what is the number of non-zero rows? Only 2. And this is considered to be 0 row. All elements are zeros. So only number of non-zero rows is 2. And therefore, rank of AB is not equal to rank of A. And therefore, system has no solution. Okay. Why it has no solution? Actually, if we expand this row, what happens? See, 0 into x plus 0 into y plus 0 into z. 0 is equal to 6. So 0 is equal to 6 trash. And therefore, it has no solution. We conclude like that. Suppose it is 0. No doubt it is in echelon form. And what is rank of AB? Number of non-zero rows, only 2. And number of non-zero rows in capital A, that is also 2. And rank of A is equal to rank of A, but less than number of variables. It has infinitely many solutions. So what is meant by infinitely many solutions? What are those? See, now if we expand this last row, no use. 0x plus 0y plus 0z is equal to 0, no use. And now we'll go to these two rows. See, suppose I will like take some easy ones. 1, 1, 1 like this, and this is also 1, 1, 2 like this. And therefore, if you expand that, what happens? 1 into x plus 1 into y plus 2z is equal to 6. That is one row. And next row 0 into x, that is cancelled. 1 into y plus 1 into z is equal to 1. So no use of this row. This is 0 is equal to 0. And now see this one. If you put z is equal to k, now you can take any value of k. Immediately you will get the value of y in terms of k. 1 minus z, 1 minus k. And therefore, in this equation, put 1 minus k in place of y, put k in place of z. And therefore, x is equal to 5 minus k. And see, the solution system, the solution for the system is x, y, z is equal to, in place of x, 5 minus k. In place of y, it is that y, this one. 1 minus k. In place of z, k. And this is the solution system. Whatever may be the value of k, you write. This is a system. This is a solution. If k is equal to 5, 0, minus 4, 5. Definitely a solution which satisfies the given equation. If k is equal to 1 lakh, 5 minus 1 lakh, minus 99,995. 1 minus 1 lakh, minus 99,999, 1 lakh. That will also be a solution of the given system of equations. Okay, now? Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this, students? Right. And in the next class, we can do these problems.